Hello artists! In order to get us ready for our op art project, we're going to start by doing a value scale. A value is how light or dark a color is. So when we do our op art cones, we're going to add light and dark shading to make it look 3D. So let's get practicing. So on our practice sheet, we have a value scale of going from lightest to darkest in boxes, a value scale that changes gradually where it's blended more, and then a part where we will practice inside of our shapes. I'm going to start by coloring in my darkest square first, pressing down as hard as I can. And after I do one layer, I can make it even darker by going over it multiple times. Going one direction is called hatching, and I can do cross hatching by going the other direction too. My next box right beside it is going to be dark, but I'm not going to press as hard because I want it to get slightly lighter. I'm fast forwarding through these video clips so you don't have to watch me coloring in for so long, but you'll be taking your time to fill in each box. When you want to make it darker, you can do multiple layers or even change the direction your pencil is coloring. As I'm going towards the left, I take pressure off of my pencil, which means I'm not pressing down as hard as I was in the beginning. I go very lightly and I just build on top of it and do multiple layers. When I'm getting towards my lightest side, my pencil is barely pressing down on my paper. I noticed that after I colored in one of my boxes, it got a little too dark, so I even went back in with my eraser and went over it lightly again. So you can always go back in with your eraser too. For number 2, we're going to create a value scale again, but without the lines or boxes in between. This is going to be with a gradual change, which means it's blending smoothly from one value to the next. Again, I started on my darkest side, pressing down as hard as I can and coloring in from going up and down, but also side to side. And a tip to make my values blend together well is I color sideways too. As I move towards the middle, the pressure that I'm placing on my pencil gets lighter. Don't forget, if you make it too dark, you can always go back in with your eraser and then shade in right on top of it. As you're taking the weight off of your pencil and not pressing down as hard, you can imagine like your pencil is whispering onto your paper. Our last step on the value scale worksheet is to practice shading in the shapes we will have inside our cones. You can see it's going from dark to light and dark again on the other side. So I start by doing a medium gray on either side, then make the edges super dark, and then start blending like I did on my value scale across my shape, going from dark on one side, light in the middle, and dark on the other side. After you've finished your coloring in your shapes, you're ready to practice and start off how we will be making our cones using colored pencils. I'm going to add curves into each slice of my cones, and one slice is going to have curving up like a smile. My next slice is going to have curving down like a hill. I'm going to make sure that these lines connect from each slice and make sure that I have the same number of lines in each slice. I've chosen 2 colors. One will be for one triangle and the other color will be for the second triangle. So with my first color, I'm going to color in my curved lines. It's going to be in a pattern: blue, no color, blue, no color, blue. For my second slice, I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to do white, then pink, white, then pink, then white. So I'm coloring in the opposite of my first triangle. You can see that I've barely pressed down. I have not pressed down hard at all because I'm going to go back in and add darker values to the sides of my shape, just like I practiced on the front of my paper. My color is going from dark on one side, light in the middle, and dark on the other side. I'm excited to start our value scales together, and next week we will get to start on our op art cones. Have fun, friends!